G'day everyone, what is actually going on? Well, I'll tell you what's actually going on. We are doing a fun editing session today in Adobe Lightroom. Yes, we're back with this again. You haven't seen one of these in a while, haven't you? Yes, well, I actually did a few other photographs yesterday night. As you can see with out in the backyard with some view, and it's a very beautiful view out there. So I'm just going to touch up in Lightroom at the moment. Let's take a look through. So just touching it up here at the moment, so I'm just going to go through a couple of these now, and as you can see there is a dog barking in the background, but hopefully that will end in a sec because I don't really want to replay this. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to edit a few of these photos. I'm going to start off, so I'm going to go in a row, and they're all fairly similar, but I'm actually going to create a very similar, not similar, but very different styles in coloring and editing with details. As you can see, some very nice cloud effect there last night. So in the first one here, I'm going to do a bit of a black and white kind of feel effect to it, but not fully black and white. It's going to be a nice little fadey blue, like a nice little soft, gentle color into the backdrop there of the light. Need to dim down the highlights a bit there, but what I'm doing at the moment, so I put the saturation at 90, because as you can see, fully a black and white, as you can see, it's just a little bit overdone. So, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in the details of the textures. As you can see, brings out the detail in the cloud. It's much beautiful like that. Very good. So, as you can see, putting in the lights, dimming the light a bit. I'm going to enable lens correction, as you can see, and then let's go to, no, not going to go to hue, so I'm going to go back up. Put up the saturation just a bit so as you can see it's in there, but this is going to be with the brush, and I'm going to put in the brush so I can get rid of the highlight a bit, but it's, as you can see, it's just, because I got rid of all the color, makes it a bit more seen, like you can see it a bit more. So that's not really working at the moment, so I might dim it a little bit more. As you can see, the dehaze, well, the haze kind of works, but it's just a bit too out of there. Oh, the sharpness, jeez. The sharpness makes it very blurry in the foreground there, which is surprising. Sharp, no sharp. There we go. But I'm going to press done for that. But I like this, I like the look in this one because I wanted to just a bit more bringing out the cloud, the very clear clarity of the clouds. That's what I'm really going for. It's really the sky. We all like the sky, we all like the clouds effect there. But as you see, look at the lighting effects in the bottom right corner. You can't really see it there, but before it was like the light was, there was beams of light going down there before, so you could have seen that before. It was really nice. We're going to move on to the second one. So that was the first one. So as you can see here, this one, I don't know what happened with this one. It's 1/25 of a second. What's that? F8? F8. But it's it's not very clear like the last one, so I think there was a bit of shake there or something. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this very soft, and I'm going to make this a very misty effect style with a sunset appeal in the color. So as you can see, so I'm going to bring down the blacks, the exposure, and the dehaze, but I'm bring out the vibrance, which will bring out the yellows and an orange pink effect. So it's a very dusty, misty sunset effect, as you can see with this one. Temperature, now I'm going to keep the temperature at a warm temperature this time, at a 5.8. Bring out the yellow luminance a bit. Yeah, so that's much better like that. And let's go down, back up. So this will get rid of the shadows effect, because we'll make this a nice silhouette one again as well. It's all about the backdrop. So now I'm going to go into brush, just even everything out, and bring out the sharpness in the foreground though, because it does look like it's very, you know, misty in that. Very blurry, surface blurry, so I'm going to actually bring that back and make it more clear in the foreground though, even though I want it no shadow effect, no nothing, just bring it out more. So that's a bit better, so bringing out the dehaze, and you can't really see the brush effect too much. Actually, I'm going to even that out, so I'm going to put in the brush a bit more, so the moire, I don't even know what that is, but yeah, so I like that there, that's very nice. What I'm going to do, I can feel like there's a little bit too much sky, so I'm actually going to crop it down a bit. And I'm not going to make it to a 16:9, I'm going to bring it across and make it a nice square, rectangular, again like that. So there we go. Gonna enable the profile again. And let's try out this distortion. I don't like this, not a fan of this too much, but let's try this out, see what we get from this. You can see it's like very slim feelings in the foreground. So no, don't think that's going to work. Bit of a fun session today. Yes, we are. So that's we done there? Yeah, we're done there. Righty, so actually no, we're not done here yet. We're gonna go and just try some clarity. Whoa, whoa, look at that go. It's one of those, what are they? Those X-ray kind of effect ones there. No, that's too much. So I brought that back. I like it there. We need it nice and soft and very misty, so I think that's fine there. Maybe I could go a bit more. But anyway, we are heading on to the third one. So again, all very similar, but we're all going to do different styles in these photos. So what this one is, we're going to crop, and we're just going to get the clouds. We're not going to get really much of the foreground. We're going to get the clouds, and we're going to make it a very nice hazy color effect as well. We're going to make it a 1x1 square, like this, and we're going to go straight into the clouds, but we're going to keep a bit of the foreground with the trees and the antenna. Might get rid of that antenna and the top of that house later on, but we're going to play around here and we're going to see what we get with the cloud effect details. Let's see. So we're going to bring up the temperature a bit. I'm going to test this one out. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with this one yet. It's going to be very colorful, so like the yellows, orangey effect again, but not too much. So I like that there. Dim down the yellow a bit. No, we're going to just slidey up. We're going to go work with the slides. Yeah, so we're going to make it a little bit of red pinky color, so just dim the orange back a bit in the hue, bring out the detail in the color. And I like, yeah, like we're going to brighten this effect up here in the clouds. So we're going to go into the brush tool and even everything out, so we don't have, we're going to make it all zeros, but I'm going to bring out the clarity, and oh, it's a bit too still. Yeah, oh, the temperature's still up. Yeah, so we're going to dim the temperature to 0. Just going to make the clarity a bit more appealing. Into the clouds, brush it there. It's not too much, as you can see yet, but we're going to brush it in there. But what we're going to do is, let's go back. So it's the start, the finish of that one at the moment. So is that all we're going to do for that one? I think that's fine. We'll just move on to the next one. Like, that's all I wanted to do for that one, like just to get the clouds of the detail. However, what we're going to do is we're going to sync everything from the last image into the next one, and we're going to see what we're going to work through there. So that's very nice, as you can see. Right, so yeah, as you can see, it's very dark in that little part of the area of the corner. So I'm going to brighten that section up with the tool here, and it flipped around. I'm going to have to reflip that, and I got to fix the temperature again. Always got to remember to fix that. I don't know why it keeps going back. Like, everything goes back to 0, but the temperature stays the same. 0. Flip that. Move it across to about, I reckon that angle is good enough. So I want to get brighten, yeah, the top right corner. It's the exposure. So let's work with the exposure and highlights for now, and then we're just going to drag that across. So the opacity, like, the same throughout the image, so we don't really get too many lines. So that's not too bad, but we're going to try and brighten it. It's okay, let's go done. That's not too bad. As you can see, before, after, there. So that middle section there is pretty much still dark, so maybe get in the brush and just brush that in a bit to try and just even that out. I think it's okay the way it is again. Oh, the temperature's back to that thing again. So exposure about that. So we're going to brighten the sky a bit again in this corner. We're going to go across. I think that'll do. That's good. We're going to try and brush this whole image in the sky. See what we get. Still the same about in the middle, yeah. So we're not really getting much difference there. So we're going to have to brighten that up. But It's not very noticeable. Like, it's only because we edited it before and after, you can kind of tell. But if you just tell straight away without knowing it's been edited, it's okay. But what we're going to do is we're going to bring out the color in the sky and also bring out that sunset yellow and bring out the blue. Yeah, so the blue is going to make the blue sky a bit more brighter as well. Going to go down, and we're going to crop anyway, actually. So yeah, we're going to just tilt it across, so much better like that. So that was good for that one. On to the next one. So very dark in this one, but what we're going to do, we're going to try a bit. So just tinted it to a bit more of a tinge of green. The green is important for this one because of the tree. And we're going to bring out a lot of details again. So we're going to bring out the tree and the leaves on the tree. It is springtime here, so I'm going to make it a very nice spring feel. I feel like this is what it is, like a summery spring feel in the sky and the clouds. And got to get that nature feel back in spring, because spring, you know, all the flowers come out in spring, don't they? Yeah. So we're going to leave it there for that one. And we're going to move on to the next one again. Right, so shadows out. We're going to make this one very dark, but just bring out the clouds again. So, because this one is going to have the foreground, bring out the clarity to 100. To haze to about there at 19. Saturation, bring out the beam of the sun, like, shining up on the clouds as well. So about there. And now, most important part, we're going to bring out the brush again. Clarity and texture, along with a bit of exposure and highlights. And we're going to just light up those clouds. And temperature down. Or actually, no, I'm going to bring it up a bit, because I'm going to bring out a bit of that warmth in the clouds again with the sun. Because as you can see, it's a very red, bright, yellowy sun. Orangey sun. It's one of those three colors anyway. And we're just going to brush in the clouds like this. Very nice. So this is what's really good. Like, you can take a few shots and make every single image very different. Even though they're the same location, the same kind of shots within the same time, I always wanted to just create different styles for that image as well. So all different kind of things. So black and white, details and clouds, misty effects, darken effects, but just bring it out like this. So it's very nice. And of course, a very natural kind of image, what you would see in the eye. And ooh, airplane there. Alright, so this one's very similar. I'm going to actually not use that one. That one's too dark. So I'm going to highlight the previous one here to that one, sync it again. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into brush. Going to brush in the clouds like we did before, but just brighten them and make them a little warm as well. That doesn't really matter, so just put it in there. Bit of the sky. Oh, yeah, okay, so we're not going to do it for that one. We're going to do it for this one. We're going to do it for this one. So the clouds, we're going to bring it, so we're going to go saturation, clarity, and bring out the dehaze a bit. So strong haze, dehaze there. So what we're going to do, we're going to make a pink sky background in the clouds. So pink clouds. So just bring down the hues of the yellows and the orange, and then bring out the orange saturation and the yellow, and that's a very nice looking image like that. So because all the cloud colors have been really fairly similar, so I think we need to mix up a bit. This one looks very realistic too. Like, you could get a sunset in a day where this would actually just be normal sometimes. So this looks very nice like this. And yeah, I'm just gonna crop it up a bit, get rid of that, and that looks nice like that. So clarity is going to go down a bit, dim the highlights, so we're going to just unhighlight that. So going to the next one, so this one I've already edited in Photoshop, and it was done via this shot. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to edit this one, but I'm going to go through the steps I did for this one. So exposure, contrast, bring out the clarity a bit, temperature and the white clippings to the saturation. You can see it's building and building, and then went through all the color corrections to there, to the crop angle and sharpen to there. And I'm going to use this one for my thumbnail, so that's why it's at a 16:9 in that one, but we're going to keep it as a square. That is the moon. So we're going to make this a very space dreamy kind of shot. because it's got the moon in it, but I like the cloud look in this as well. So we're going to go fully clarity and dehaze, and as you can see, it's really coming out a bit already. But what we're going to do, we're going to make that moon more noticeable. So sharpen that up to 100, contrast just a bit up, texture to 100, highlights a little bit, bring the exposure out a bit. So we're going to that, and it's brown, because temperature is down again. Actually, we'll make that a little bit of a blue moon, so we're going to temperature it to a -9. I wish the moon was a bit bigger, though. That would have actually been really nice, and I could obviously edit that. So we're going to go back into the brush, and this time what we're going to do is we're actually going to make that brighten that sky, make it a silhouette kind of feel for the tree, and again, we're going to make it a little bit more of a cool blue color. So yes, like that. So as you can see, the exposure just highlights is about that, but we're going to make the exposure a bit more bright, so yes, about that. And I like the darkness in the top corners. I think it's perfect to where the moon is and the clouds, so that's going to leave like that, so that looks perfect. And again, that is the moon, people. Yes, that is the moon. So that was a nice little fun editing session, so very easy. As you can see, it was very good. Actually, before we go, we're going to edit that to there. And that'll do for this one, actually. Should crop that out, but oh well, don't worry. Just leave it there. Anyway, that's it for now. Next time, I'll get back to you.